let's turn our attentions now to a young man trying to make this Chargers football team. I love these stories.
Well, especially at this position. I mean, we just got finished talking to Norv about the incredible talent at wide receiver, and here comes Charlie Martin. He's going to bust in. He wants a job.
Charlie Martin is a rookie free agent out of West Texas A&M. And Charlie Martin, welcome to the Scout and BR show.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Now, when the media relations people come to you and they go, hey, local radio show and they'd like to have you on, I was once that undrafted free agent guy. So I jumped at the opportunity, but I asked the question, why do they want to talk to me? I mean, did you have that reaction, Charlie?
Yeah, that was kind of the reaction. You know, it's funny going from a small Division II school and then coming here, you know, to walk and do stuff and go about your day without any problem. I came to him yesterday and I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds good. And then, you know, told me it was at 6:30 in the morning. I said, oh, no wonder. That's why you're not going to wake the big boys up that early and tell them to come in.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also where when you're walking around, Charlie, and let's say you bump into somebody and they go, hey, so you're out here, you're trying out for the Chargers. What position? And you say wide receiver, and they go, come on, get out of here. No way.
Exactly. You know, and that's how it's been. You know, like I said, all the nicknames already from the white wide receiver, obviously the only white wide receiver. Coach is black, you know, all of it. But you know, it's fun. That's how it's been my whole life, and I enjoy it.
What makes you become a wide receiver when you're in high school? I mean, of all the positions that you could have chosen to play, come on, you're white. You're not allowed to be a wide receiver,
exactly,
you know, or a DB,
exactly,
or a running back.
I think you know, it's always just been you know, catching football. I've always loved that from being a little kid playing catch, and you know, I've always just thought I've had an knack to catching football. Had pretty good hands, you know, and that's just kind of how it started. Actually, you know, played both ways. Obviously, high school cornerback, which I think was even worse.
Even less opportunity.
But when I decided I would, you know, like a receiver, always just been my, you know, I grew up loving Jerry Rice and watching all those guys, and for some reason it's just been a position I love and where I excel.
And then the Charger fans here from West Texas A&M, and it tweaks their memory, and they go, wait a second, West Texas A&M, hold on a second. That's where Ryan Leaf ended up as a coach. And the Ryan Leaf story over the last year and a half has just been, I mean, one of those crazy stories. And you were telling me a little bit about Ryan and how it's been basically blown up way out of proportion. Give me a little background on what you said.
You know, yeah, like I said, I think I didn't know Ryan he was here and obviously saw the stuff that everyone else has seen. I think the first thing I'm going to say is he's a different person. I think as a person, what he wants to do in life, he's very different. And he was a guy that when he very first took that job, you know, real tiny Division II school in Canyon, Texas, in the middle of nowhere. You know, he admitted he was wrong. He was young and he had millions of dollars and he made mistakes, but you know, he had moved on from it. And going to get back into college football, where he thought he was at his best and he could help guys. I can remember him talking to our quarterbacks one of the first times and saying, you know, I want to help you try to, you know, live a little different life and make it to where I was at. You know, not, you know, make some different decisions. And you know, he coached 2 quarterbacks in West Texas and both of them. One of them, Dalton Bell, was a free agent in the NFL for a couple of years, and quarterback Keith was drafted by the Rams this year in the 6th round. So you know, he left his mark on that program for sure. He came in there with a great attitude, did nothing but help our program.
All right, well, this is Charlie Martin, a rookie free agent wide receiver out of West Texas A&M. Now, you're singing the praises of Ryan Leaf, and people are listening to you on the radio right now, and they're like,
not a good way to start.
Yeah, they're like, what are you talking about? He did good things.
But you're firsthand. That's the interesting part of it, because we haven't been with Ryan.
But let me tell you something. When he left San Diego, I know guys that played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and when he was even there for just a short period of time, and they're like, I wouldn't say it publicly, but he was actually a really good dude. Yeah. He screwed up in San Diego, and we had no issues with him in Dallas, or we had no issues with him in Tampa. But then you're talking about what a great guy he was, and the mark he left on this program. But then what happened? What happened with the whole break-in to one of the players? Can you tell us about that? Or what you know?
Yeah, I can. I can tell you what I know. You know, obviously there's stuff that's been reported that I don't know. The one thing I can say that I know is it was blown out of proportion. And I think a guy like Ryan, you know, and it's his fault. But the stuff he'd done in the past, he's never going to get away from. but basically, you know, he did ask a player for, like I said, I don't know the details, but what was reported and what they're getting him on is that he, the whole stolen or breaking in. I don't have firsthand knowledge of that. I don't know if any of that was reported. I can't say, but what I can say is basically what they wanted him for was asking a player for a higher vote. And I think that's all I really know, and it was really that simple there in the town of Candy what was going on. And then all of a sudden,
it's an international manhunt. They're up at the Canadian border, and Ryan Leaf is trying to get away from the authorities, and he turned into a crazy thing.
I'm back here, and Ryan's leading nightly news in San Diego, and I still talk to Ryan. And the funny thing was, I saw some stuff reported, and they said he was arrested at the border. Well, they didn't go in to say that he is living in Canada, and that's where he's been since last fall. And they didn't say he was trying to get back into the United States to turn himself in. It was just, he's caught at the border, and so people obviously construe that how they want. But he was trying to get back to that, and I think that's the crazy thing to see a situation firsthand and see how stuff's reported and kind of step back. It was a weird deal. All I'll say is, Ryan's doing good. I think everything happens for a reason. I think that all happened for a reason. It was good that it happened. He's moved on. He's got help. I think he's happy.
Okay, Ryan's doing good.
Yeah, well, if he would hear that, he'd be like, what was the reason that I tried to get the medicine from the player, and what's the good that's going to come out of being busted at the border? And boy, Charlie, you're one optimistic dude. That would be Ryan. So this is Charlie Martin, wide receiver out of West Texas A&M, trying to make this Charger team. And Charlie, here's the thing. When you look at this group of wide receivers, you've got a star in Vince Jackson. Norv Turner was just talking about 18 yards per reception last year. You've got an established guy in a Chris Chambers. You've got a Malcolm Floyd who's been a contributor. You've got a Kasim Osgood who's a Pro Bowler for special teams who is a maybe fourth or fifth wide receiver. Legadoo Mane, who was drafted a few years ago. Antonio Gates and Brandon Monomani, whatever, are both parts of the passing game. It's awfully hard to make this team as a wide receiver. However, here's one piece of really good news for the white wide receiver. You ready for this? Here it is. I don't know if you've looked at the history. Wes Welker was here with the Chargers, didn't make this team, has gone on to become a big star.
Yeah.
And here's another name for you. Greg Camarillo was with this team on the practice roster, and when he got picked up by the Miami Dolphins, remember when Greg Camarillo was like the guy that helped the Dolphins finally get a win 2 years ago?
I do.
Greg Camarillo has become a real NFL wide receiver. I don't know that you're going to make it here, but you got a shot to play in the NFL.
And that's the deal, to be in the NFL, I still try to dream of knowing what is right. And it has been such a dream, and my path hasn't been, it's not like I'm a white receiver that went to a Division I school, played 4 years, and all of a sudden I felt like my path wasn't different. And to be here, I'm excited, and, I wasn't sure what was going to happen on draft day and where I was going to end up. And, I ended up having a few offers in free agency. When we look at the situation in San Diego, to me it just fit good. Obviously, I did know that past and that success, but then just to come in and learn from some of these guys who, Vincent, Chris, Malcolm, have all been great, and to play behind these guys. And, that's my deal. All I can do is go out and work hard and contribute on special teams. Maybe open some eyes during the preseason. And if it's not here, that's what I've tried to tell people that are close to me that I should call in this situation. I may not be in San Diego, but I think I can play in the NFL. I think physically I have the ability. It's going to take a while to know and find where I fit. Hopefully it's here. I like San Diego. And, if I can stick on the practice squad, there's just so many more things that go into it. But hopefully if I can get some time in the preseason, like I said, get some film, get some eyes, I think I can do something.
How about playing, just taking the field, and there's Charlie Joyner. Hey, Charlie Joyner, how you doing?
Yeah,
Charlie Martin, good to see you.
Every day is I wake up and make sure something really is. I think I'm a guy, especially coming from a small school, the little things I appreciate. That training camp this year to last year, night and day. I don't even think people have any idea what it's like to play Washington. So I think that's really a true student athlete. You have to love it. My path, I was there 6 years after the red shirt, so but I always said that I was going to make it here today. Ultimately, I got this opportunity, and that's all I need.
And besides the Wes Welker, Greg Camarillo, guys that have done this before you, you also got to know this: that AJ Smith, and I don't know how much contact you have, but I'm guessing not much.